Good morning. We want to look at Hebrews 11, and we're going to begin this great chapter on faith. In fact, I mentioned last time that in Hebrews 10, 22 through 25, you had faith, hope, love bound up in a life in community where we're not to neglect meeting together because this is where faith, hope, and love excel. That's in Hebrews 10, 22 through 25. In a way, it's a little bit of a beginning outline, a preview of what's to come in the letter to the Hebrews. Hebrews 11 is about faith. Hebrews 12 is about hope. Hebrews 13 is about love. I'm going to spend a little time in Hebrews 11, which is a famous chapter about faith. And let's begin in verse 1. Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. So let's think about both those ideas. It's the assurance of things hoped for. So you can see immediately that faith and hope have an interrelationship. There are things that that aren't palpable to us, that aren't tangible to us, that have yet to be realized. That's why we hope for them. They haven't materialized at this point. And yet faith is having a surety about them. In a way, it's having a kind of present tense attitude about the future tense. I'm going to live in something as though it is coming or as though it's going to happen. That next phrase, the conviction of things not seen, is an important idea in the Bible because one of the ways that we govern our lives and operate our lives is by living a life where we are living in light of those things that we cannot see. We live as strangers here, he'll say later in Hebrews 11. We live as people who are, our identity is elsewhere, and we're defined by a different dimension of existence. The only way you can be defined by a different dimension of existence is to live through the eyes of faith. So you have to be able to let that realm speak into this realm. Let that kingdom inform this kingdom. So great verse, 2 Corinthians 4:18, as we look not to things that are seen, but to things that are unseen. For things that are seen are transient, but things that are unseen are eternal. We're looking at things that are unseen to govern our life in the things that are seen. Now, why is that? That's because ultimate reality in that way, or that for which we were made, that eternal state, that which most connects our design in an eternal worshiping community, is that which is not seen. And so we need to let that inform our lives in the present. So this is what faith does. Faith brings into our daily lives a disposition, an attitude, a sense of hope, a holistic way of approaching life wherein we're not governed just by what we see, because what we see fools us. What we see gets us caught up in the mundane. It gets us driven down by things that go wrong. It gets us too high by things that are pie in the sky. And faith keeps us grounded. It's not that faith takes us away. It's that faith grounds us in the present because it connects this reality with ultimate reality in that way. So I hope today you can have the assurance of things hoped for, that you can live by the convictions of things not seen. In other words, you learn to trust the Lord and live by His ultimate lights rather than just our own very limited horizon. May the Lord bless you today.